This is Providence Television International, the game changer. Stand by for the next program.
Good morning and welcome to the newspaper analysis segment on the Morning Drive Providence Television International. My name is Ugbebo Ikekwa, and with me in the studio is Dr. Emmanuel Egariva. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, and happy weekend to you all.
We'll be moving straight to the analysis. We'll start with the Daily Trust newspapers, where we have a screaming header there. Ipman tackles Nnpcl over new petrol price. Says NNPC bought product for 899 naira, but sells at over 1,000 naira per litre. And streets deserted as workers, students trek.
Where are we heading to? I don't know, but I think that there must be an intervention, very urgent intervention from the federal government, okay? So that we don't have anarchy on our hands. Petrol is at the base of all that we are talking about. I mean, as far as the economy of this country is concerned. It's a mono economy we are running, by the way. And I think that if there's anything that touches Nigerians most at the moment, it is the price of petroleum products, okay? So we need to regulate that so that we don't have anarchy on our hands. People are beginning now to trek long distances, and I just pray that their patience doesn't run out, okay? We can still salvage it, and the government can intervene as quickly as possible. I mean, look at the screaming headline there. Ipman tackles Nnpcl. And the other day, we're hearing that Ipman has direct access to Dangote. Yeah, but now it's a different story. So this back and forth movement is a thing that most people do not understand in this country. Is it that we don't have a policy to regulate petroleum products? And I think there should be, because first of all, the president is also the minister of petroleum in this country. All right, so we do have a problem on our hands, and the earlier we solve it, the better for all of us.
Yeah, if you remember, following on one of the papers this morning, was saying that the NNPC has no right to set the price of fuel. I don't know. Well, much as that is following us personal opinion, we'll move straight still on petrol matters. Vanguard, front page. Petrol price hike. Nasima, PDP, Atiku, CSOs. Others insist on reversal. Hike will worsen plight of businesses and households. This is coming from Nasima. And Atiku says Tinubu undisturbed by hardship in Nigeria.
Well, this is the time when all hands must come on deck. This is the time. We are reaching a point of no return in this country. And I think that because we run a mono economy, really, more or less a mono economy, we need to do something very quickly so that it doesn't run out of hands and out of solution. We do realize that there are many interested forces now. There are many interested parties in this. Nasima has just been talking. CSOs are talking. The Nigerian population is on the receiving end. So I think that the earlier the government tackles this, the better. Because for the fact that we're running the mono economy also heightens tension very terribly. You realize that a lot of businesses are closing down as a result of these hitches in petroleum products. A lot of businesses. And people are now saying, that's why I blame Labour, for instance. Why did they even accede to the increase in the first place? I think it was more or less for selfish reasons. So, but they are now talking about going back to the pre-Tinubu era. In other words, less than 200 naira a litre. That probably saved the situation. Yes, I think so. But there are so many indices involved. So there must be, and I suggested this some time ago, that there must be a roundtable conference, and let us arrive at a concrete and permanent solution. We're just going back and forth. I mean, you can look at now, from what you read a little while ago, that there's a bridge between NNPC and, is it Ipman? Yes, there's already a dichotomy.
Exactly, yes.
Yes, and it shouldn't be. They should be on the same table. And in any case, why must NNPC be involved in such a negative manner? Yes. Why don't we even open up the refineries?
Exactly.
What are the authorities hiding? Why can't we open up the refineries? What is the problem? Because Dangote, I mean, it has become a monopoly now, so to speak. Dangote is the only person now who is supplying these products.
Yeah.
And yet we have other 4 refineries
Refineries.
that are just moribund. We have 2 in Rivers, in Port Harcourt, we have 1 in Kaduna, and 1 in Warri. They are all moribund. They can be revived. Even when you are not reviving them, give room for some smaller entities. Okay? The other day on this same program, I talked about mobile refineries.
Yes.
And these things happen elsewhere around the world. Why can't we bring them here? Why can't we even give licenses to people who can operate them? Okay? So rather than this big stuff that we're talking about, smaller units, some of them you can move from place to place. Yes, it's happening. Technology is advancing at such a pace that we need to really comprehend. So it's a big problem. And because we run a mono economy, so to speak, any little thing, any little hiccup now, Nigeria will go up in flames. Yeah.
We'll move down. Still on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, in as much as I understand the dictum or doctrine that what God has joined together, no man should put asunder. Maybe this is defensive on the part of the person making the statement on the front page. My husband, not cause of current hardship. This is coming from Remi Tinubu.
I don't even want to talk about that because what do you expect her to say anyway? You want her to put blames on her husband who happens to be the president. I mean, that doesn't add up. It doesn't add up at all. So we better just not talk about it. However, the truth remains that the president is the president. I mean, the number 1 citizen is the Minister for Petroleum. Okay? You have the Minister of State. Okay?
Yeah.
So the buck stops at the president's table in this circumstance. So there should be no excuse whatsoever.
Well, we'll move down to the front page of the Daily Times. Health workers issue 15-day ultimatum to federal government. Says ultimatum is necessitated by non-response of federal government to the plight of members. It's going on and on.
Yes, I don't know. We are gradually getting there. A point of no return. We are gradually getting there. Don't forget that ASU is waiting on the wings.
Yes.
The enemy is threatening. Okay. The latest now is coming from
health workers.
All right. And many others.
Yes.
About the same time. So I think we have a dilemma, a really big dilemma on our hands. Is it that the president is overwhelmed? Or is it because some of the appointees of government are not doing their jobs well? They are not doing their jobs well, replace them. Yes, remove them. They are not doing their jobs well. It's almost 2 weeks now, if you remember, that the president said he was going to rejig the whole system. Nothing has happened.
Nothing has happened, yes.
Yes, he's been overwhelmed. Nothing has happened. And yet, we have issues such as this coming up on a regular basis, in fact, on a daily basis. Okay? I just pray one day that the police itself does not go on strike. It happened before in this country, remember?
Yes.
Yes, it happened before. So I just pray, all right? We are not getting it right in many areas. And I believe that this is the time, and I will advise that the president, this is serious, let me mention it. The president, this is a critical period in our national life. The president should call critical stakeholders, right? Regardless of party affiliations. This is the time that the president should call critical stakeholders, and there are many stakeholders in this country who are apolitical. This is the time to call a roundtable conference. Let us solve the problem of this country, regardless of party affiliations. All right? There are many good people in this country, by the way. There are many good people, nationalists in this country, who do not belong to any of the political parties. This is the time to call them. People like Ayanku.
Okay.
Ayanku is there. He's a man whose opinions can be respected any day. All right? He's been at the head of the Commonwealth. And he's a Nigerian. There are many people in the organized private sector who can help to salvage this country. The president can do well to call them to a roundtable conference. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You're only reaching out, you're stretching out your hands of fellowship to Nigerians. This is the only country we can call our own. We are reaching a critical stage where I think that we can call all the major stakeholders to a roundtable conference and let us chart a course to move Nigeria forward.
All right, moving down to the Daily Independent, talking about moving Nigeria forward. Signs of anarchy everywhere in Nigeria. PDP Board of Trustees warns, asks Tinubu to review policies to check widespread hardship.
Well, I will just comment on one. Well, that statement is coming from PDP.
Yes.
So you may think that there is some kind of political coloration. But then there's hardship that you cannot take away from anybody in this country. I mean, there's general hardship now, all right? From the woman in the marketplace, from the man who is just eking out a living, to artisans, to students who are not sure of their tomorrow, okay? So there's a problem to be solved in this country. Let nobody play the ostrich. That's my advice. We can't play the ostrich. There are problems now in this country. Economy is there. Problems of the economy. Problems of security. We have them. And the future of our children. Yes. What's our take on the future of our children? Growing up in a system such as this, when they cannot feed adequately on a daily basis. So there's room for us to sit down to the roundtable conference, and that's what I suggested a little while ago. Critical stakeholders. Yeah, this is the time. There's no shame in it, really. Let us call all the critical stakeholders, and they are bound in this country. Let us solve the problem in this country once and for all, because Nigeria belongs to all of us, regardless of ethnicity. We are stakeholders in this country, and I believe Nigeria is for all of us, okay? And I believe that it can be done, yes.
All right, we'll move down to this day newspapers, where on the front page, petrol price. In change of style, Akpabio asks Nigerians to reduce the number of cars they own.
That's a very ridiculous statement. Ridiculous. Rather than say that National Assembly members should reduce the number of vehicles at their disposal. You're talking about how many Nigerians now have more than two, ordinary Nigerians, so to speak. How many of them have more than 2 cars now anyway, with the present situation? I saw the convoy of the Senate President the other day. It was, I don't know how to describe the length. Okay. Choice cars. Choice cars. Right. How the Senate President should start by giving an example of himself. Why can he not ride in 2 cars? Long convoy. That's a very long convoy. That's what I saw. And I shook my head. Now, the same Senate President is saying that, say that again, please. Exactly.
Petrol price in change of style. Akpabio asks Nigerians to reduce the number of cars they own.
I mean, what can be more ridiculous than that? Nigerians can't even drive 2 cars now. No, average Nigerians, they cannot drive 2 cars.
Exactly.
No, they cannot. Let's face the truth. Yes, some people have even abandoned the only car they have.
Yes.
That's the truth. I mean, let's face it. I mean, these people, they are living the highfalutin kind of lifestyle. They don't even know what is happening in the country. They don't. Look at the cars they drive. Choice cars. It's not in this same country that we're told that each car bought costs more than almost 200 million naira for each car.
For each, yes.
Yes, in this same country not too long ago. For senators. Right? And the multiplier effect of that is obvious. Add the number of senators to the number of people you have in the House of Reps. Then you multiply, in monetary terms, the number of cars they have. So you know what we are talking about. Yes. I'm not even talking of the executive arm. Now you are talking about average Nigerians, the man on the street. Some people I know have abandoned their cars in the last 6 months. The only time they use their cars is when they are going to church. They use their cars only once a week. And these are stark realities. What are we talking about? Yes, stark realities. Well, so God help us.
God help us, truly. On this note, I want to say thanks for staying tuned. But don't go away as the interview segment comes up next.